Hey guys, it's Erica. If you've been following my channel for a while, you might know that I did a video kind of a long time ago on plants that I'm struggling with, and the Pilea Peperomioides was on that list. That Pilea is history. That Pilea died. I bought a new one, and let me show you how it looks right now. So, I propagated it. I have the footage of me doing that to show you guys because I ruined the roots. I think it was from overwatering, which I'm a little bit surprised because I am a chronic underwaterer. So going from chronic underwatering to overwatering my poor little Pilea Peperomioides was really sad. I'm a huge fan of this plant. For some reason, a lot of people, whenever they talk about this plant, they talk about how easy it is to care for. I struggle with it so much. This is the best I've done yet. But we're gonna get to potting this because I have rooted this little baby, which I'm so happy about. So let me kind of talk you through what went on. So right after I finished filming my root rot Rio revival video, I was kind of saying in that video, like, the next time that I found a plant that was root rotted, I would kind of film the entire process of how I fixed it, how I solved the problem. And I was looking around at my plants and I noticed earlier, but my Pilea looked awful. And here's me struggling to show you how awful all of the leaves looked. The whole entire bottom portion, the leaves were yellowing. There was dark spots on the center of the leaves, which is a big red flag that your plant has root rot. So I finally decided to do something about it because I'd just been kind of hoping that I would adjust my watering schedule and that would kind of account for the root rot and preventing it from getting worse, which obviously did not work. So the first thing when you have root rot or suspect you have root rot is you got to take your plant out of the pot and look at the roots, which is what I'm doing here. When I took the Pilea out of the pot, I noticed the little babies that were popping up, and I was so excited to find those because I've been waiting for that plant to give me babies for the longest time. But on the bad side, I noticed that the roots looked awful. You could really tell roots are bad when they're kind of like dangly and they're black. Usually you want them to be like a nice plump and firm and a more white color. Some of the roots on here were white and okay, obviously if it kept the plant alive, but we definitely needed to change the soil out and do something about the roots that did go bad. You can definitely tell on the leaves that the roots were not the healthiest, and the leaves were honestly kind of falling off by themselves, but I just decided to remove the entire bottom portion of the leaves because they were turning yellow, and once the leaf starts turning yellow, it's not gonna suddenly revert and go back to green. So why not just take them all off so that I can propagate the top portion where the leaves were still beautiful and the plant was still growing. So here we are. You can see every leaf that I removed, and you can see right there that the roots are dangling. You do not want your roots to be dangling like that. They should be kind of firm and staying in place, not wiggling around. I removed most of the worst leaves. There were still some that were pretty bad above, but this was good enough to propagate. So I didn't really know how far up I wanted to go on the stem to cut, but I left a little bit of a buffer, as you can see here. And this top part is going in water, and this bottom part is being potted again, so the two little babies could continue growing, and then I'll have two new plants from there. Like I mentioned earlier, there were enough healthy roots to support the plant, just not enough to keep the bottom part alive, so that portion could survive still. It was a little too difficult to try and remove all of the soil. I tried spraying it off with the hose even, and it still wouldn't come off. So this is how the root ball looked before I potted it up. And you could just see how good this part looks when it doesn't have all of those dead leaves at the bottom, although a lot of them still do look pretty bad. Since I put that upper portion in water, I decided to take a picture of it on the first moment that I noticed that it had roots, and that was about 4 days after I put it in water. So it rooted pretty quickly, and I'm going to attribute that to the fact that I put it in a south-facing window, so it got a lot of sun. And this was the very next day. I felt like you can see that the roots grew. Even if it was just a tiny bit, I felt like even that one little day, you could see the roots grow a bunch. So I decided to take a picture of that too. So now, I don't remember how much time, maybe a month later, I have my rooted little Pilea, and I have the little base, which as you can see here, the baby has gotten bigger. There's another baby somewhere buried over here, and this stem has grown some plants at the base, if you can see them. It's all really small, very minuscule. Right here. Those two little areas have it. I'm honestly so happy that this plant has survived, and it's growing a bunch of little new growths at the base. So I'm very happy about that, and I'm very happy that this plant rooted, and now we're gonna pot it today. I have a little bit of soil here. This is just some of my soil mix, and I have a plastic container because this is not where I want it to live forever, but I want it to kind of get used to having soil on the roots since it is in water right now. So let me just give you a good view of this, because I'm so proud at how easy this was to root. I was really unsure if it would root the way I wanted it to, but it did. I left on all the dying leaves for you guys to see. Oh, I accidentally just broke one off right now, which I was actually gonna do. So let me break off these dying leaves because I don't want them on my new plant. And the roots are kind of growing above it. So I'm really glad that the leaves kind of died symmetrically. So it kind of looks even here. I'm gonna bury it very deep. Here's the root system, little top part. It looks so much healthier now that it has those little dead dying leaves off of it. Oh my gosh, that makes such a huge difference. This looks like a very healthy plant now. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so we're potting it in here. I'm putting it down as deep as possible. This is a small little pot, but it's very deep, so that's why I chose it. And I'm gonna plant this. Here we go. It's all potted up. It looks very, very good. I think I'm gonna have to end up taking off some of these kind of yellower looking leaves, but I'll just leave them on for now, and then maybe once it kind of adjusts to being in this pot and I transfer it to its like a clay pot, a pot that it's gonna stay in for a long period of time, then I'll cut those off. But this looks so good. It's kind of like a baby again. I am really sad that it did come to this. I would have liked to have a really large plant. I think that whenever someone thinks of a Pilea Peperomioides, they automatically think of crazy plant guy Christian's Pilea, because that thing is insane. And that's kind of what I was going for my plant, and this is this is where we ended up because I just got a little too water happy. But I think these leaves are really good for like a very good example of how leaves look when they are being overwatered. So I think these are a really good learning tool. I feel like whenever I mess up or make mistakes, it's a great opportunity to help you guys try and avoid those mistakes. So I definitely know it was overwatering, and I think it was because I put it in such a well-draining mixture that I ended up having to water it like every 3 days or something like that. And that's kind of a lot for me. And if the days get too close together, I feel like I forget if I watered it 3 days ago or if it was yesterday. and then that's that's how it happens. We got these two little baby plants. I think giving them lots of sunlight, and these honestly, this rooted so quickly. When I noticed the roots, I took a picture right away because I was so excited about it. And this little guy has been growing up really quickly. So giving this plant a lot of sunlight has been really good for it, I think. I think only about a month ago I did a reviving root rot video, and I said that next time I would film the process completely, and I did that. It literally was only like 3 days later where I was like, okay, yeah, this Pilea has root rot and we gotta do something about it. So finally filmed the whole situation. But that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In the future, I will definitely be giving you an update on these plants, and I'm gonna do an update video very soon for my other plants because it's not Vlogmas, it's more like Plantmas. So I am trying to post videos daily this month. So I'm definitely gonna have updates on my other plants. But if you guys have any suggestions of videos that you would like to see, you can let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It had a really happy ending that I'm so excited about. And I'm going to be sure not to overwater these. But yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!